There's a new red iPhone. The iPhone 8 and 8 Plus come in product red now, but not the iPhone 10. I actually have been playing around with one, and I wanted to take you through what it was like to unbox. So here's the full unboxing and a comparison with a lot of products, including some that are Apple's. We compared against a lot of red products before, and we're going to do the same thing this time, comparing it against other red products and an Apple product. So let's go. I've got a little opening tool. We're going to open this up. Red iPhone logo on the side. Gonna cut into that, and oh, there's a plastic tab. So I didn't have to cut into it at all. You don't have to cut into it. Let's just get that plastic stuff out of the way. This is a 256 gigabyte iPhone 8 Plus. Open it up, get rid of that tool thing, and opening it up, here's the instructions. There's already a hint of red. We'll save that for later. And there's the iPhone, and already you can see a difference. It's black on the front, not white. Last year there was white. Previously it was white. This time it's a black front with red and a very glossy red. This is glass back and fingerprint magnet, but I like the color. The sides are aluminum, which matches last year's iPhone 7 Plus. But getting to the charger, it's white, and the ear pods are also white. There's nothing else red in here. White lightning cable. It'd be kind of cool if it was all red, but nothing else hidden in there as far as we can tell. And put that stuff off to the side. Let's just go back to the iPhone. So pick it up, turn it over, and carefully take off the plastic. Here we go, in the back and the front. That is the most fingerprint-free you will ever see this phone, unless you carry a cleaning cloth or something. So you turn it over, there's the sides, there's the back, and it's very bright, like a cherry red in this light, but it does change tones depending on where you are. When I looked at it previously, it was almost like a dark blood red. But the aluminum sides are exactly the same tone as the aluminum-backed iPhone 7 Plus product red. So there you go. I'm gonna turn it on. While that starts up, let's open up what came with it. There is the product red slip, and it says on there a portion of your purchase will go towards the Global Fund for HIV and AIDS. Doesn't say how much, but a portion. And there's the instructions, always good to have. Standard issue, fine print, and white Apple stickers, not red. So there you go. And there's the phone starting up. Nothing surprising there. You know, it's a red iPhone, so that's exactly what you expect. Let's compare it to some other things for perspective. Last year's iPhone 7 Plus is a different type of phone. It's a metal back phone, and the color sometimes looks exactly the same and sometimes looks pretty different. So here it's glossy, again, like cherry red, and the iPhone 7 Plus product red has a shimmery type of metal back. So a little bit different. I like the new color compared to last year's, but they're both, again, almost from this distance, they sometimes look the same, but you can see as you turn them, a little bit different. Last year's was less of a fingerprint magnet, so there is that. And they both have the exact same size. I mean, the 7 Plus and the 8 Plus are physically nearly the same phone in dimensions. And there's the white and the black. I prefer the black. It just creates a cleaner look overall. You're less aware of the bezel too. So as a comparison to both phones, turn them over, get another look at them. Home buttons, no Face ID or anything. And there's no iPhone 10 in product red this year, so oh well. I mean, maybe there'll be one in the future. They do have an iPhone 10 product red case. I'll show you in a moment. Let's compare it to this red glass vase that I have here. You know, who knows what color red that is? So it's not, you know, an easy color comparison, but it's a bright red, and that's bright red as well. Now, how about the CNET logo? I've got it on my laptop. And on the MacBook Air, holding it up, I mean, this is a sticker applied on, but the CNET logo looks a little more orange. The Apple one is definitely, the iPhone 8 Plus is deeper red. Again, much more like a cherry red. So what other things? Last FM Frisbee, there we go. That's red, and also still looks like orange compared to the product red. It's a really red red. If you like really red reds, like sports car red, that's what you're gonna get with this phone. Put that off to the side. So what else is really, really red? Fire extinguisher. That's really red. Actually, that's the closest match. That's a good match. That's basically, so it's fire engine red is another way to describe product red. So there, I'd say the extinguisher is the closest match so far, if you look at those two. Fire extinguisher is not as glossy. Okay, Dungeons and Dragons starter kit. Let me roll that thing out of the way. Sure you got one of those Dungeons and Dragons kits lying around, or maybe you don't. That's an orange box though compared to the product red. Very different reds there, so FYI. Red tumbler, like at a pizza parlor. That's like a darker red. Also, it's translucent. And finally, the iPhone X leather folio. This is the new product red one. And just move that tube out of the way. All right. There we go. Now, it's funny because this is a very different red. It's like a brick red. And holding it next to the iPhone 8, it looks like brown. So it's a little bit odd, but keep in mind there are other red iPhone X cases that Apple makes, and there are other red cases that other companies make. And you can also get other red cases for other iPhones that you have, or if you put a different color case on the back of your product red phone, it won't look red. So there's a lot of ways to keep in mind that product red is not always going to be visible. In fact, I would love for the product red to be visible on the front and back of the phone. Maybe at some point they'll do that. Why don't they do that? Is this lipstick red? I don't know, and there are a lot of lipsticks, but I did get Veramore Cosmetics Russet, so I'm just curious. You can judge that yourself. I'm Scott Stein with CNET.